Hey everyone, welcome to Movie Club. Today we're gonna dive into introducing a bunch of good new movies. Most of them have had their good quality versions come out in just the past month, and we got to watch them. From now on, we're gonna have these videos every month on the channel. Since this is the first one, it might cover a bit more than a month, like maybe 40 to 50 days. The video's also divided into sections. Movies you shouldn't watch. Movies you can check out if you're literally scraping the bottom of the barrel, and the main part of the video introducing 7 good movies. So now you can just skip to whatever section you want. We'll also check out some cool stats like which movies were underrated, which ones made a ton of noise but got low scores, which one got watched the most, and which one got the least attention. We're going to review 18 polls in this video. Out of these 18 movies we reviewed,
people confidently said, don't watch. For 5 of them, meaning they performed the worst. You might not believe it, but the worst performer was Supergirl with a satisfaction score of just 23%. Only 8% of viewers said it was good, while 62% called it straight-up garbage.
This movie also sets another record. It's the most disappointing one on our list. Why? Because in terms of how many people watched it, it ranks third, meaning after Obsession and Backrooms, out of all the big-name movies these days, the one people said they watched the most was Supergirl, and it totally let everyone down with that weak score. The movie follows Supergirl as she starts an interstellar journey to bring justice, and also for her to be able to unleash her own anger. Viewers in the comments said the main issue is that the story is way too predictable. 2 other movies viewers said to definitely skip were Lords of the Universe and The Death of Robin Hood. Lords of the Universe also set another record. It's the least watched movie on our list. Only 600 people took part in the poll. 80% said, we haven't seen it, meaning the audience instinctively felt they shouldn't bother watching it. Lords scored 28%. And Death of Robin Hood got 36%. Lords is about a prince from another planet who, after being exiled to Earth for 15 years, gets the power sword back in his hands and decides to go back to his home planet. Death of Robin Hood is about an injured, aging Robin Hood who goes to a mysterious woman's house to heal his wounds, hoping to find a chance to save himself from his dark past. 2 other movies in the Don't Watch list are actually pretty interesting. They're super well known worldwide because each one represents a different mindset. Enola Holmes and Scary Movie 6. One's a left-wing movie, the other's right-wing. Scary Movie is right-wing and makes fun of LGBTQ folks, gender diversity, and immigrants. Enola Holmes is left-wing and promotes Netflix's politics. But both of were barely watched here, and neither was liked by the audience either. This is while Enola Holmes got 20 million views on Netflix in its first 5 days, and Scary Movie made it 232 million globally at the box office. But here, 80% of our voters said they hadn't even seen it. Enola Holmes scored 38% with people calling it trash. Scary Movie got 40%, also with viewers calling it garbage. Enola Holmes is about Sherlock's sister, who, when she finds out her brother's been kidnapped, goes on a mission to find him. Scary Movie, as usual, cracks jokes about a new horror film. So with that, these 5 movies are on the Don't Watch list. You can easily skip these 5 and save yourself some time. But the next category is 6 movies that viewers said you can watch if you're scraping the bottom of the barrel. One of them, which isn't famous at all, is Little Brother. It's a new John Cena comedy. It's got that whole John Cena movie vibe. 28% of viewers said it's good, and its satisfaction score is 47%. The story is about a perfect life, a real estate agent who gets more successful every day until his meddlesome, troublemaker cousin steps into his life. If you're genuinely a fan of John Cena's comedies, you can check this one out. There are also 2 horror movies in this category, since horror flicks have their own niche audience. I'm talking about Evil Dead Burn and Last House.
According to FilmBaz viewers, their scores are pretty much on the same level. One's 47%, the other 49%. But on IMDb, Evil Dead Burn has a better rating. Last House is a Netflix production about people on Earth who get locked up in their homes for 3 years,
and then aliens enter the story. So it's fantasy horror. Evil Dead Burn is about a family that gathers together but gets caught in a curse, and the family members start changing one by one, leading to a bloody fight for survival. So this one's the type where they rip out guts and intestines. The violence level in Evil Dead Burn is insanely high, so much so that they didn't even want to give it an R rating at first. It had to be shown in special cinemas, and only after censoring it did it finally get an R. So if you're a horror fan and you're scraping the barrel, you can check these out. 2 other movies in this list are incredibly famous globally and grabbed a ton of attention. One is the new Star Wars movie. They got pretty mixed votes. Their score was 57%. Its performance was totally average, meaning the good, average, and bad scores were almost equal. 50% of voters said it was average. This one follows The Mandalorian after the fall of the Empire. They're hunting down warlords, and Mando gets a mission to go hunt one of them. The other movie that made a ton of noise worldwide was The Devil Wears Prada sequel. This one made close to $600 million at the box office, but even those who saw it thought its performance was totally average. It scored 51%, and about 40% said it was average, while good and bad scores were tied. The weird thing is that the audience score here has a massive difference compared to, say, its Rotten Tomatoes score, which is 78. So critics rated it way higher than the score it got here. Clearly, this movie has its own specific audience. If you're into fashion or the fashion industry, or if you're a fan of the first movie, you can enjoy this one too. The story is about the old characters getting back together after years to save Miranda, who's on the brink of ruin.
The last movie in the average category is also one of the most watched on the list. Almost 1,000 people voted on it. It's the new Steven Spielberg movie, but it couldn't really satisfy audiences. It only got a 56% score, and most voters gave it an average rating.
In the list of most watched, it ranks right after Supergirl, taking the 4th spot. Its score was 57%, with most voters saying it's average. The weird part is that the percentage calling it trash was low, but in the comments, people said the slow pacing and the weak ending were the main reasons for their dissatisfaction. The plot is about a cybersecurity specialist who gets hold of some information about extraterrestrials and goes on the run to expose the truth. So those are the 6 movies you can watch if you're scraping the bottom of the barrel, or if you have specific tastes, or if you're looking for something that caters to a niche audience. Now we get to the most important part of the video, the best movies of the past month. There are 7 of them, and according to viewers of this channel, you shouldn't miss watching these. The last 2, number 6 and 7, are movies that performed way above expectations. They're less well known, but scored really high. Those are The Invitation and Furiosa. For Furiosa, only 700 people voted in the poll, and just 100 of them had actually seen it. Still, it got a 60% satisfaction score, and those who watched it said it's good. The reason it's not watched much is its specific genre. If you're looking for a straight-up action flick where they just beat the crap out of each other from start to finish, this is your jam. If you've seen it, you know it's exactly that genre, and this is the first movie on our list with an IMDb score above 7. The story is about a father whose daughter gets kidnapped and taken into the lair of a ruthless, corrupt human trafficking network, and he has to go fight them to save her. The 6th spot is completely the opposite. It's also not widely watched, and most who saw it were satisfied, but this one is a single-location dialogue-driven movie. It has a slow pace, and you have to connect with the characters. 50% of those who saw it said it's good, and only 18% called it trash, so it scored 65%. The plot is about a couple whose relationship isn't great. They're always fighting. To spice things up, they invite their upstairs neighbors over for dinner. But these neighbors aren't ordinary. They're pretty bold, live a weird life, and do strange things. The conversations that happen between them create a complex game of jealousy, curiosity, secrets, and confessions. The cool thing about this movie is that it was filmed exactly in the chronological order of the story.
Most of the dialogue is adapted from a Spanish film called The People Upstairs. It's one of those artsy films that critics love. It has a 97% Rotten Tomatoes score and a 7.6 on IMDb. If you like dialogue-driven movies, this might be interesting for you.
Two other movies that viewers recommended are feel-good films. If you're looking for something to lift your mood, these are The Two Sheep Detective and The Minions animation. The thing they have in common is that they were hugely popular. Both had over 10,000 votes.
Almost 60% of viewers had seen Sheep Detective. Its selling point is its unexpected story, a shepherd who reads crime novels to his sheep. When the shepherd himself gets murdered, the sheep try to find the killer together. Its satisfaction score is 74%.
And the cool thing is that this score is exactly the same as its IMDb score, also 74%. Those who watched it said it's great and recommended it to others, with only 11% calling it trash.
The Minions animation has a 75% satisfaction score. 60% of viewers definitely recommended it, and only 9% said it was garbage. The story is set in 1920s Hollywood, when the movie industry was changing and monster films were getting popular. The Minions,
looking to get famous, decide to make their own monster movie. The story is packed with references to cinema history and jokes about every single filmmaking element. They even put an animated version of George Lucas in it.
Its 89% Rotten Tomatoes score makes it the most praised entry in the entire Despicable Me franchise. Two other movies on the recommended list don't really need an introduction. They're super well known in cinema news, and we've talked about plenty of times.
That's Obsession and Backrooms. Obsession also set another record. It was the most voted film, with 13,000 people voting, and 70% said they'd seen it. And that's not just a record for this month. It's a record for the entire channel.
No other movie had gotten 300 votes before. Its satisfaction rate is 76%. Interestingly, its IMDb score is 7.8, so it's very close to that. 63% of those who saw it said it's excellent and definitely recommend it, with only 10% calling it trash.
So in terms of score and ranking, it's exactly the opposite of Supergirl. It's like it has the same score, but completely reversed, as if you held it up to a mirror. The story is pretty famous by now. It's about a young guy who wishes that the girl he has a crush on would fall in love with him, but he soon realizes that wish comes with a terrifying price. Backrooms was also highly watched, with almost 10,000 votes. Satisfaction is at 70%. 55% of viewers said it's good and recommended it, while 15% called it trash. We already did a deep dive on this one on the channel because its story is a bit complex with hidden layers and subtext. It's about a psychologist's patient who mysteriously enters an endless world, and now the psychologist has to go into that world to save them. And now the best movie of the month according to the channel's audience, the one that took the top spot, is Pressure.
It sets another record too. This movie isn't well known at all. Only 400 people had seen it, but its satisfaction rate is 83%. 75% of those who saw it definitely recommended it to others, and only 8% called it trash. The story is about the Normandy operation, the biggest amphibious operation in WWI. But it's nothing like Saving Private Ryan. They didn't film any big battle scenes at all. The entire focus is on forecasting the weather. After the war ended,
when Eisenhower was asked what made the Allies win at Normandy, he said, "We had better meteorologists than the Germans." So it's about pulling off that huge operation in exactly the right weather conditions amidst all that chaos, so it would be unpredictable for the Germans and also avoid a sudden storm that could drown thousands of soldiers in the sea. Brendan Fraser, the Oscar-winning star, plays Eisenhower in this film. Even though it got very positive critical reviews,
It only made $11 million at the box office.
It got pulled from theaters quickly and was a commercial victim of lack of advertising and summer competition. It has a 96% on Rotten Tomatoes and, interestingly, a 95% audience score there. That's why it's called Pressure, because these guys were under intense psychological pressure to make the right call. So this is one of the clearest picks for a good but obscure film. So those are our 7 selected movies for this month. If you're looking for something to watch this month, these are it. Alright guys, that's it for this month's best movie video. This was the first of its kind. We'll definitely make the next ones better, and we'll probably reduce the number of movies in the list. If you have any thoughts on the video's format, like what would make it more engaging for you, which parts we should cut down or expand on, definitely write in the comments. Don't forget to like the video, and until the next one, channel! Goodbye!